Welcome again to Family Dynamics with Bola. We are going to be starting a new series that I'm very passionate about. I'm passionate about everything, but this one has my heart in it. So, we're going to be talking about the foundation of marriage, right? But come close. Let me ask you a question here, right? Why is it that people spend months, sometimes even years, planning for a wedding, but so little time preparing for the marriage itself? Think about it. We'll choose the perfect venue, the perfect taste of a food. You test the cake. Sometimes we even argue over the flowers on the table. Do we want this? Do we want that? But one thing that truly determines whether a marriage will thrive or collapse, oftentimes people skip that. And I'm wondering why. And here's the painful truth. Too many couples, they walk down the aisle deeply, deeply, deeply in love, only for them to wake up months or years afterwards feeling lost, feeling broken, and even sometimes living like strangers. Most of these heartbreaks, to tell you the truth, could have been prevented with the right foundation. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, the first thing I want to talk about, what's the purpose of marriage? Because when the purpose of something is not known, abuse is inevitable, right? You know, a lot of us have watched so much movie that we think that marriage is all about the fairy tale, where you ride into the sunset and you live happily ever after, Disney movies and all the Nollywood movies, Hollywood movies, Bollywood movies, and all that. But to tell you the truth, it's not just about the butterflies in your stomach. It's not about the romance. It's not so much of the honeymoon itself. Marriage is a covenant, and it looks as if this day and age, people tend to forget that. Marriage is a covenant, it's a sacred partnership. It's about you building something bigger than yourself. It's much more than the two of you coming together. It's a shared vision. It's a legacy. It's a thing that God put together by himself because it has a future plan. And coming together in marriage is us partnering with God to fulfill his counsel here on earth. But here's the catch, you cannot build something that strong, something that remarkable without the right foundation. Even the Bible says, if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? Let me give you an example. I have seen over and over, much more than I can even now count, couples who were head over heels in love. But after a few months, the argument set in. Sometimes it's about finances. Sometimes it's about in-laws. Sometimes it's about respect. It's about love. Sometimes it's about them struggling with expectations about their roles in the home, right? And sometimes it's them disagreeing on how to raise the children, or even some of them, whether they want to have children or not, or they're trying to have children and then they can't have children, infertility, right? Why did this have to happen? Most times you will find out conversations about these important topics were never had before marriage, or even when they had it, it was just on the surface. A lot of couples assume that love would be enough. But let me bust your bubble. Marriage is much more than just love. It's about clarity, understanding the purpose of a thing. It's about honesty and it's about intentionality. So, since we're just setting the foundation today, I'd like to debunk some of the myths that people think that would help. People have come up with some of these things and they believe this is enough. Let's deal with some of the myths because many of us enter marriage with beliefs that set us up for disappointment. And I don't want that to be you. And that's why we're having this conversation. And if you've been there, there's always room for you to learn. With new knowledge, you are applying the new knowledge and you become a better person. The first myth that I would love to debunk today is love is enough. We've all heard it. As long as we love each other, everything will work out well. No, it won't. Don't get me wrong, love is very powerful. But love without preparation is very fragile. And when something is fragile, we see what happens with small pressure, it breaks. Love may bring you together, but wisdom is what keeps you together. Even the Bible says a wise woman builds up her home, right? Love without tools is like you planting your garden. You have the seed, the soil is good, but you don't have water. Love is not enough. Do we need love? Yes. But love is not enough for your marriage to thrive. Myth number 2 that I would love to debunk today is counseling is only for when something is wrong. No, 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 no. How many of us treat counseling like the emergency room? Especially if you're of African descent. People feel like, why do I need to go for counseling? It's when something is really bad. Even sometimes when things are really bad, people don't really go, especially men, right? We only go there when things are bleeding, when they're already broken, or now they're on life support about to give up. But let me tell you, counseling is not an emergency room. It's a wellness clinic. You don't wait for your car's engine to fail before you change the oil. So why would you wait for your marriage to fail before you seek wisdom? There's some people that have been equipped that can really, really help you, right? And then the third myth that I would just talk about today is, people are like, we already know each other. Why do we need counseling? Let me tell you, knowing someone's favorite food, the favorite movie, the favorite color, is not the same thing as knowing how they were raised, knowing how they would handle money, knowing how they would handle conflict, knowing what it means to have family obligations, knowing how they will handle stress. Yeah, it's not the same thing. And these things, they don't come just because you go out and you have ice cream together. Sometimes you can ask questions, but having an understanding of the right questions make all the difference. Premarital counseling uncovers what love often covers up. The Bible says love covers multitude of sin. When you love somebody, it's very easy for you to give excuses for them even when they make mistake, right? But you go in, for counseling with someone who is equipped, they would help you ask the questions that you didn't even think to ask. Don't let me rob you of a marriage that could have been strong from the start. Don't. So let's talk about some of the things that premarital counseling would help you with. Imagine you're starting your marriage not just with butterflies in your stomach, but with the tools in your hands. Tools to resolve conflict before it becomes destructive. The tools to navigate your finances without resentment. Tools to build intimacy and connection in ways that would last a lifetime. And that's what premarital counseling will do for you. It helps you clarifies your expectation so that you don't have like surprises later in the relationship. It helps you build unity because when you are on the same page with your spouse, life challenges would not tear you apart. And trust me, challenges would come. It is given, it's going to come. But because you already have that unity, right? And sometimes you find out from premarital counseling that, okay, so this is not the right person for me. So instead of you making that mistake of going in and then going out, you don't even go in. And premarital counseling helps you create resilience. Like I said, the storms will come, but if your roots are very deep, you will stand strong together. So let me ask you today, are you preparing for the wedding or you're preparing for the marriage? Because here's the truth. Every strong marriage that you admire, it didn't come strong by accident. It was built choice by choice, brick by brick, conversation by conversation. So if you're dating, if you're engaged, or you're even newly married, or you've been in marriage for a while, this is the moment to invest in your future. Don't wait until the cracks appear. Don't wait until resentment builds. Don't wait until the silence between you grows so loud it just drowns out the love that you have for each other. Counseling is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom. And I would be honored to walk this journey with you. So here's my invitation to you. Reach out to me. Let's prepare your love for the long haul. Let's make sure your marriage is not just beautiful on the outside, but it's unshakable on the inside. Because marriage doesn't thrive by chance, it thrives by choice. And today, you get to make that choice. Remember, don't just prepare for the wedding day. It's going to be glorious, it's going to be beautiful, but make sure you prepare for the lifetime after it. Thank you so much for listening. This is Family Dynamics with Bola.